Welcome everyone to the tie breaks of round 4 of the FIDE World Cup 2025. Here we have India's number 2 player Dronawali Harika with the white pieces. She's taking on Kateryna Lagno. Now Lagno is an amazing speed player. She's 3-time World Blitz champion, also World Rapid champion, and the time control here is 10 minutes plus 10 seconds increment. The first game in this time control ended in a draw. This is the second one, and whoever wins it will go through to the quarterfinals. Harika opens the game with knight f3. We have d5, b3 played. Knight comes out to f6, and Harika is known for her positional chess. She's excellent here, and she's trying to use that to her advantage. g3 played, pawn to e6. And bishop g2. Lagno had eliminated Vantika in the previous round after an intense battle, and now can Harika manage to outwit her? Short castles, knight d2 played. You can see how white has managed to double fianchetto and then put the pieces on very logical squares. c6, bolstering the center, and Harika plays a3 so that if a4 you meet it with b4. Knight d7, and the queen comes to c2 in the line of the bishop, but it's a very solid formation. And you go back with the bishop here, wondering what Harika does next. Bishop c3, I love it. She's going here with her queen to b2, b5 played. Takes, and now the c file is opened up. Harika goes b4, a4 played here. And I love this next move, taking control of this entire diagonal. Queen b6 played by Lagno, and bishop d4 attacking the queen. White's position starts to get slightly better here as the knight moves in. The bishop is looking here, maybe e4 will come up. Rook f8, but Lagno immediately takes control of the c file. Harika challenges it with rook c1. Rook trade. Rook takes c1, and the other rook comes to c8. Harika chops off the rook. Queen takes c8. In the ensuing position, it does feel white is slightly better. The reason for that is this beautiful battery here on the long diagonal. Queen takes d7, and now you can go knight f3, knight e5 again. She first takes control of the c file, very logical. Knight goes to e8 to challenge the queen with queen c7. And Harika goes pawn to e4. Slightly double-edged move, but very logical. The bishop does get into play next. Knight jumps back. But can we simply not push the knight away with e5, gaining even more space? And Harika does it. Brilliant. Knight e8, and now knight to f3. Instead she goes bishop f1, f6 played by her opponent, and she plays pawn to f4. White has more space, but is that good enough to win the game? The bishop goes to d8. Kateryna is getting her bishop out from here, and I love how Harika is maneuvering her knight to d4. Knight comes to d6, and now queen c5, very strong move. She goes knight d4, and now this allows bishop b6, pinning the knight and trading it away. Yes, bishop d4, and now knight f5 is coming next. So black maybe is able to unravel. Yes, knight to f5, good move by Kateryna. Takes on f5, bishop takes f5. And she goes bd4. Trading, but this is a bad trade. In fact, this helps Kateryna now. d3 pawn has been weakened. After takes, queen takes, the c file can be taken control of by the queen. Beautiful. Harika plays her queen back to d2, b2, stopping the black queen from entering, but now d4 opens up. King here. Oh, she blunders. Queen h1 was better, but look at this move. Can Harika find the flaw here? She has to take, and the endgame is winning for her. Otherwise, black is winning. But what a big mistake by Kateryna. Harika takes, pawn takes, And now the pawn is just 2 steps away from queening. And look at her being careful. King e3, and she's like, did I miss something? If c2, there's king d2. And this pawn on c3 is falling now. d4, excellent move by Harika. She's going to attack this. So bishop e8. But now the king comes in. c3 is falling. And oh my goodness, everything is weak in black's camp. Just this one move, queen c3, played in hurry. And Kateryna also had time for that move. But still she hurried for it. And now Harika can finish off her opponent now. g4. She's pawn up. g5 played. Bishop goes to g2. I mean, with all the experience that Harika has, I doubt if this will be a tough task for her. Bishop e4. Bishop goes to d7. And she goes king f3. Her idea is very interesting. King g3 and h4 is what she wants to do. King g3 on the board. King comes to f6. And now h4 played. Beautiful chess by Harika. Bishop drops back. And now takes, and creating a passer down the h file. So the king has to wait here. Will be interesting to see now how she continues. King f2 played. Bishop comes up. And bishop f3. Protecting the g4 pawn. King comes up and white starts to activate the king. The bishop moves away. Can we now break in the center with d5? She goes bishop e4. King g7. And now pawn to d5 to make space for the king to enter here. Pawn takes pawn, bishop takes, bishop d7, and she comes back defending the pawn on g4. And now it's time for the white king to enter the battle. Kateryna Lagno is completely losing here. King d5 played, bishop f7, and it's time to play king c5. She goes king d4, she's waiting there. Bishop c4. And now king e3. Why is Harika coming back with her king when she could go in king c5? Well, she wants to trade here. And king d4. Oh my goodness. That's such technically superior play. Amazing. She first got the bishop here with her king and then moved in. Wow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. King c5, and she also kind of repeats whenever she gets a chance. Bishop f3. King comes to e5. Harika has 3 minutes 33 seconds. Kateryna Lagno just 24 seconds. Bishop e8, and she plays bishop to e2. Finally, I believe some progress has to be made, because every time Harika thinks about taking this pawn, she'll be losing the g4 pawn. Should be winning, but I think winning without counterplay is what she wants. She now chops off the pawn after getting her king in the best position. And bishop c6. She calculates this beautifully, that the pawn is moving forward. Bishop takes pawn, b5. The bishop moves in, bishop e2, b6. And now if bishop a6, there's just b7 take, and it's completely winning. Harika wins. Kateryna Lagno resigns. What a match. Harika, look at that relief on her face. With this, she moves into the quarterfinals, eliminating a strong player like Lagno, and she now faces Divya Deshmukh in the quarterfinals. It will be an exciting encounter.